It's helped every facet of the business. Getting new clients, content, me thinking about the business, me working on the business. Conviction, client results, and client satisfaction. It's helped with everything. You can name anything in the business and it's helped everything. Like a 13x ROAS. I spent $850 on ads that month in December. The business is really kicking off and I've got systems in place. My coaching ability is 10x as well. My offer is world class. Yeah, it makes me think, what the fuck was I doing before? It was just a glorified hobby compared to how I'm operating now. I feel like I'm running a proper business. I feel like a businessman. I feel like I'm made for business. I'm thinking from a whole new different paradigm now, Jamie. It's definitely world class. It's full stack. You've got a lot of stuff in there. Your team has helped me. I was very impressed. So for the first 2.5 years, Jamie, like I was maybe hitting 2K bar, sometimes 0. And then I don't think I read the memo, Jamie. Usually people hit 10K months. I skipped that and I sold 10K in a week. So that was a big one. Healthy profit margins, healthy runway, healthy float. My coaching ability right now, my program running right now, I thought I'd be running it to that standard maybe in years from now. And so I came in your program and now I'm world class. I can compare myself to anyone. What I was really impressed with, Jamie, I can see the amount of effort, the amount of capital you put and you invest in your business. Yeah, bite the bullet, but if you believe in yourself and you're a high integrity coach, join the A team. You can keep doing what you're doing. You can hire someone else. You can invest low ticket in yourself, this and that. But you're going to be on this trajectory. If you join the A team, if you join Jamie, your trajectory is going to go through the roof. And then you're going to save time, months, years to achieving your goals, rather than wasting time and then eventually maybe coming back around later on.
So today we have Ronnie been with us for probably coming up on a year. We've just been chatting before we kind of hit record. You've kind of come through a massive transformation, not business wise only, but personal wise, mindset wise. I guess how you feel about yourself, how you feel about your business, everything has pretty much transformed a long way. What I want to do is just pass it over to you first. Introduce yourself. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your business, where you were when we first spoke, and where you are now and what you feel.
Great question. It's an honor to be here, by the way. Very, very honored. Thank you, Jamie. Before I share a bit about myself, you've helped me a long way. Thanks for believing in me. And here we are. So I'm Ron. I'm an online fitness coach, owner and head coach of Apex Transformation Group. We help male managers, business owners, and service professionals across Australia, US, and Canada get lean and optimized in an efficient and in a way that doesn't disrupt any other part of their life. It wasn't always like that, right? So I joined Jamie around 8 months ago, around May 2025. Before that, I had taken a 6-month break from my business. I was at 0 when I joined Jamie's program. I paid it with my own money. So I was at 0. So I came in with the beginner mindset. And now the business is really kicking off and I've got systems in place. My coaching ability is 10x as well. My offer is world class. And so that's where we're at. Yeah.
When you came off that break, why did you take that break? What was happening at that point?
Great question, actually. So let me rewind. I first stepped into this business, started the business around 3 years ago. Can't remember exactly, but it was about the 3-year mark. And for the first 2.5 years, I could probably confidently say I got punched in the face by the world, thinking, I thought I knew what it would take. I was spraying and praying, but I never gave up. I just kept getting back up every day. So for the first 2.5 years, and I was 100% online from when I first started. I wasn't a PT in the gym. I always was attracted to the online business model because I do believe in that model. And so it's obviously hard to build something 100% online from scratch. So for the first 2.5 years, Jamie, I was maybe hitting 2K bar, sometimes 0. But I've been bootstrapping this business. I think it's a great question because what I want people to understand from where I am now, I've done blood, sweat and tears. I've put in my own money, bootstrapping, being in the red for a long time. And just one example I'll give to you, when I first started, just to kind of fast track my progress into the market, I was offering 6-week programs for free and sending a video review every day to clients. And I did about 10 of those. Not many people are willing to do that, right? So that fast tracked my progress, got me a lot of experience, got me a lot of results, client testimonials and stuff as well. But yeah, so 2.5 years, I was still didn't get anywhere in terms of something consistent with revenue, cash flow wise. So then I took a 6-month break to kind of just take a step back. Am I in this business just because of sunk cost fallacy? Am I really want to be in this business? Do I want to build another business? Do I do something else? Am I really doing this for the right reasons? I came back in, we had the call. So before we had a call, I realized, okay, nah, this is meant for me. This is my purpose. This is how best I can leave the world in a net positive way. And we had a call. And on our call, Jamie,
I guess
what really resonated.
before we touch on that, mate, you had a 6 month, was it a 6 month break? Is that what you said?
Yeah, complete break. I took a complete break.
You did a complete break from all coaching, all sides of the business. When you started that break, did you think you were going to come back around?
Yeah, I was, I think I did think I was going to come back around. I just didn't know which model or which platform, which way to go about it. I was thinking YouTube. I think I was going to go on all in on YouTube, and then you gave me the rundown of why that wouldn't work on our sales call, or when you sold me, right? So that was that, and then what really got it for me was I had YouTube on my mind, so I wanted lead flow, like most people come to you for, right? They want lead flow, but they don't realize that you need to have a lot of things built in place to capitalize on the lead flow. And when we started talking about what you can help me with my offer, certain things like that was things I thought I would have had to work on maybe 4 years down the track to paint the picture, Jamie. My coaching ability right now, my program running right now, I thought I'd be running it to that standard maybe in years from now. And so I came in your program, and now I'm world class. I can compare myself to anyone. That's how confident I am in my program and how I run and how I operate right now.
Here's a question for you. So previously, when you were grinding, you were offering all of this essentially free value, right? You were doing 6 weeks for free in exchange for transformations, testimonials. You said it fast tracked your experience, I guess. But why didn't offering all of this free value work?
Right, because you need money and you need cash flow in the business, right? And it wasn't sustainable. Like the numbers weren't pulling it. Like even I wasn't doing those 6 week programs forever, but I was undercharging. When I first started the business, I got slapped in the face. So I was doing $100 PDF programs. I just didn't know how else to attack business, so I just did what I knew what to do, what I thought I had to do, and then learned as I went, and just kept getting back up. So it's been like quite a journey, but definitely to answer your question is, the numbers need to add up if you want to run a proper business.
Were you coming up with these strategies? Were you kind of doing this on your own at that point?
Well, I do a lot of that. Yeah, as you know me, I'm always learning in all facets. I'm always upskilling. I'm always, what's funny? Like, bit of a tangent. Like, I resonate a lot with B2B content. And it's very easy to mix that up with B2C, with what we do, especially when you're dealing with sensitive issues like fitness, right? And insecurities. Yeah, like I was doing a lot of learning. I've always had like some type of business mentorship, whether it's low ticket, mid ticket, before we joined forces. Yeah. But yeah, it was just kind of going kind of like, not influencer, but like the way I was running things would be more aligned with the creator model, which is not a business. So, but I always wanted to be that business guy.
Yeah. And it can be. The creator side obviously can be a business. When you're starting from scratch, you need money. You don't necessarily need followers, right? You need money. Fast forward me to our call, because you said there was something on the call that resonated with you.
But yeah, for me personally, well, you reminded me of like, obviously what wasn't working for me isn't going to work for me again. I need systems to be in place. You made me realize that I was leaning too much on my grinder mentality rather than having a system-based thinking mentality. That's what resonated most on the call. That's what kind of subconsciously happened on the call. Like, there's levels to this. I think, you know what, if I'm completely honest with myself, my spirit, my confidence in myself, my pain tolerance is super high. So that can work against me sometimes in terms of not realizing when things aren't working, because I just push through. That definitely helps me on the ad spend kind of things, because I can just let things run, right? So that's the other side of that. But yeah, so that's I think, you know what, on another answer to your question, Jamie, I liked your brand. I liked how you weren't flashy. I liked that you weren't an ex-PT that started becoming a business coach. There are some good ones there. I won't say all of them. There are some I can hang out in my hand that I would respect. However, just to, not talk bad about anyone, but yeah, that's what I liked about you, Jamie. You're not an ego. We got along on the call. I think we resonate a lot about, stoicism and stuff like that. So, yeah, I really liked our conversation before we booked the call as well. Very, very gentlemanlike and helpful. So it was good. Yeah.
Were you nervous to start?
after I said yes or before when I got on call?
I guess before, just at that point when we were saying, okay, let's go.
Yeah, look, yeah, I'd say nervous, but more excited. And the key emotion I had, Jamie, was I knew I was doing everything I could to make this work. I knew that was the right play. I believed in myself. I put my own money down, no hesitation, and I just knew one thing. One thing I knew that I might have done in the past was I wasn't going to pass any responsibility for this business working onto you. I was going to do the work. I knew you had the systems, I knew you had the modules, I knew you had the coaching and the support for me. I knew I just needed to do the work and implement everything and do it my way. So that was more so just me. I knew I was just doing everything I could. I knew no other way. That's my mentality, right?
So you joined. Tell me your first impressions after joining.
Yeah, crazy. What I really don't know if you remember this, but what I was really impressed with, Jamie, was the amount of I could see. I can only speak for myself, but I can see the amount of effort, the amount of capital you put and you invest in your business. I think your father would be very proud, in case no one has told you, that your business definitely resembles a red pickup truck. It's
Yeah.
definitely world class. It's full stack. You got a lot of stuff in there. Your team has helped me. Gilbert, Gabby, Kieran. Yeah, it's been. I was very impressed. Very impressed.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So look, it was a big move because you had just come back from a break, right? It wasn't as if the business was in a position to really invest without hesitation, but there's something in your
Yeah,
mindset that
zero.
just says, yeah, so your mindset just said, I'm doing this. This is the right thing. I'm putting my business in the right place by investing into it. So tell me where we are now.
So right now, as of like a couple of weeks ago, I kind of, long story short, during the program, I was learning and slowly building the business as well. Getting a couple of clients here and there, tweaking things, implementing systems. Any system I implemented, I wanted to make sure I maintained right and mastered it. What I've been really focusing, and it's I guess the way I chose to do it, I chose to really dial in my offer. So that took me a few months, scaling a little bit, and then I don't think I read the memo, Jamie. Usually people hit 10K months. I skipped that and I sold 10K in a week a couple of weeks ago. So that was a big one. Healthy profit margins, healthy runway, healthy float. So
Tell me,
that
tell me what's dialing in your offer to that level, because I know how good it is. Tell me what that has done for not just for your business, but for yourself as well.
yeah, it's done. It's helped every facet of the business, when it comes to getting new clients, when it comes to content, when it comes to me thinking about the business, when it comes to me working on the business, when it comes to conviction, when it comes to client results and client satisfaction. It is the in the module you mentioned. You can cut this out if you don't want to hear it, but like in the module you mentioned, like the offer, having a world class offer is the single biggest thing you can do in a business, and I truly believe that. I didn't take that lightly, and it's helped with everything. You can name anything in the business, and it's helped everything. And now it's like yeah. Then it's just starts work. You start working on other things in the business, and it kind of comes together, which kind of like maybe is the reason why everything's starting to compound so fast after such a while. For the first few months, I was like taking the slow route, slowly doing things my way, and now it's like, yeah, it can really take it however fast I want to take it. I think in quarters, so I want to take it a bit easy, but I'm thinking from a whole new different paradigm now, Jamie. And without the offer being bulletproof, no chance.
So a lot of coaches think your offer is simply your price, and that's what the offer is. Without giving away your offer, how much more is it than just your price?
Oh, it's probably you could put a number on it. It's like 10x the value, because it depends on the client as well. Like everyone, you have to understand the client's goals and the situation, the amount of money they save. The way I go about it, Jamie, is like, okay, if you get fitter and you get more disciplined, you get leaner, you're not only going to save money on medical bills, you're gonna be emotionally eating less, you're gonna be having higher tolerance, you're gonna save money in so much areas, you're gonna make more money as well. You're gonna have less decision fatigue, you're going to be performing at a higher level. I do with business owners, so they're gonna make better decisions, they're gonna be dealing with clients better, dealing with more stress. The more stress you can manage, the more money you can make. The more you can handle in life. So that's just like another facet. I deal with managers, I deal with service professionals. I got a ER nurse that I'm taking care of. So like these guys are high stress. You need to. So the value is definitely. Yeah, I could charge more.
It's
Definitely.
the value. It's the value equation, right? you can hear it in how you speak. You understand the value equation. You understand the value that you're providing, and that's why you can charge the prices you charge. I
Yes, and I'm
want to
definitely charging more than most, or more than the average.
so I want to speak to you in particular about systems-based thinking because it's a big thing for you, right? And I can see it in how you speak. I can see it in how you show up in community. I can see it in what you've done in your business, right? So talk to me about systems-based thinking. What is it? How can coaches apply it? And what have you learned about it?
Yeah, so systems-based thinking is the opposite of spraying and praying. Okay, so when you're spraying and praying, you're just posting content without understanding the back end of it as well. So content can be a system in itself, and if you need a system of like whether it be a CTA and then what kind of funnel or customer journey you want to reach an endpoint. So that's the way I see it. You can have a system for coaching clients. You could have a you could have a check-in system. So everything can have a system in whichever part you're talking about. And when you think about systems-based thinking, I think about systems-based thinking. I think about operating systems. I think about being an operator, not a builder. You are a builder because you build systems, but I'm operating on a daily level from an operator standpoint, which means systems-based thinking. So you add a system in meta ads. Let's talk about the typical IHG profile visit funnel, social funnel, right? That's a system in itself. You need to understand the whole concept of it, not just the ad that go into, but how you're going to get people to book calls. What do you even want them to book calls? Do you want them to go into lead magnet? You need to understand these things. You need to put the time and knowledge into every system you implement and maintain it. Like you could give me a system, Jamie, right? You could give me a system on a silver platter, but if I don't put the time and knowledge into it to maintain it, it's you're gonna lose it in a month. And it could be the best system in the world. Comparing it to a fitness program, I could scientifically make the best fitness program for someone that's scientifically going to get them the best results. But if they can't be consistent, if they can't maintain the rhythm that's adhering to that program, they're better off using another system that's probably easier to put another facet. So that's the way I see it. Everything is in systems. It's like kind of like being a CEO without employees, even though just to, kind of understand it. Like, I'm thinking about systems. Everything is a system. My meta ads is a system. My content is a system. How I operate, how I coach is a system. Yeah.
How does it compare to how you were running the business before?
Yeah, it makes me think, what the fuck was I doing before? That's honestly the best. Sometimes I think about how I was operating, the first 2.5 years. So I think, man, it was just a glorified hobby compared to how I'm operating now. I really I feel like I'm running a proper business. I feel like a businessman. I feel like I'm made for business. I always have, but like now it's practical, or it's tangible more so. Yeah, it's you're cool, calm, collected, and consistent. Way more easier, way more ever on a daily basis. If you do the work, even the way you manage your life, your routine, your calendar is a system, right? You go daily planner, yeah, systems planner, yeah.
Was this entire process more than what you thought it would be, or was it what you thought it would be when you signed up?
It's probably more. Yeah, it's the hardest thing. The whole process, obviously, without you guys, the trajectory would have been, if I didn't join you guys, my trajectory would be here. I joined you guys, it's up here. But excuse me, like when we're talking about the process being hard, I chose the hard route. What I mean by that is, like, I really, really did kill my old self. And that was the hardest time I've ever had to do that. I've done it many times in my life. But as you get older, as you get more successes in different things, it becomes harder to detach, because you align with the identity more. So it's been much more than I thought, but I've loved every second of it. I'm loving every second of it. But obviously, with the systems that you guys.
Tell me more about that process of killing your old self.
Yeah. So, well, first you have to understand what helped me the most, man, this time around was I had to thank my old self, because I've come a long way in my life. I've been through thick and thin. Everyone's had their journey. And, when you want to talk about net worth, when you want to talk about certain things, investment goals, when you want to talk about social relationship goals, all these types of different goals in different areas of life, as you get older and you've succeeded and you've broke through so many barriers, you can get attached to identity that unfortunately will not serve you getting to these 10x goals. And so when I set my 10x goals after I joined the program, Jamie, I realized that I have to think of from a whole new paradigm. I need to, and when you realize you need to think, like, I could have 2x'd and it would have been easier. So I chose to 10x. That forces a complete reinvention. And it took me 4 or 5 months, Jamie, honestly, if I have to be honest and think of it now, like, to really Great. I'll share this. This will answer your question perfectly. My daily routine up until joining the program per se was pretty bulletproof, Jamie. I feel like I've always operated at this level. I've had a morning routine. I've had all this stuff. If you're comparing it to the average, then I chose to 10x my goals and set a vision very clear of what I'm building, what kind of business I'm building. Like you mentioned your module, like a Ferrari, different parts of the car. And I realized, man, fuck, I'm really setting it high here, and what it's gonna take, and that. So then I realized, okay, now I need to set up a routine aligned to a multiple six-figure entrepreneur, and I kept failing at that routine, but that made me lose trust in myself, Jamie. Like I've been here consistent, daily waking up, this and that, doing things on time, and then I've got this new power list, and I can't keep up with it, no matter how hard I try. I figured, bruh. And then I lost trust in myself. Another thing was I help a lot of clients with sleep. And you know me, I've got a lot of integrity. I want to practice what I preach. And my sleep was shit for like a couple months. And I'm thinking, how can I help people with sleep? And I can't even fix my own sleep. And so fast forward now, I've broke through all that. I'm really embodying, I'm really practicing what I preach. I'm hitting my own planner, my daily planner and everything. Obviously, there's always still some work, but from a whole, I've got a healthy level of imposter syndrome, whereas before it kind of got out of whack because I've got such a big goal. I've got such big expectations of myself and I can't meet it. And it's the first time that's happened in a long time where I can't meet my own expectations, thinking, what the fuck's going on? So that's why it was so hard this time around, killing my old self. Yeah.
However, on the backside of that, you had this goal, 10K a month, you smashed it out in a week. But the important thing about that is none of that is now fluke or luck. It's systems that you said are year round. It's systems that you said that you've perfected. It's not this one flash in the pan sales week that came from one big launch. This is stuff that works evergreen. So tell me where your mindset's at now.
Yeah, keyword there was evergreen. Yeah, so it wasn't a Black Friday promo. It wasn't nothing like that. My mind right now is just cool, calm, collected, consistent. I don't know if I already mentioned this after we started recording, but like I said, this is exactly what I'm thinking right now. My builder side of me is very proud. I walk around with such a sense of pride of being able to keep my word to myself. That's success to me. Success to me is all about keeping my word to myself. If I can do that, I can sleep happy. I can die happy, right? The other side of me is the operator side of me, which is thinking, okay, stay cool, stay calm, stay collected, stay consistent. How can I even make this even better? How can I make it repeatable? Because if you think about it now, Jamie, it's a 10K sales week. If I repeat it 9 more times, I've got a 6-figure business. If I repeat it 4 times in a month, it's a 40K business. See, this is why I'm thinking it's a whole different paradigm for if I was to hit 10K a month, because I wouldn't be thinking from this mindset. So it's crazy. It depends on which goals I want to set now. And I want to make sure, and this will answer your question, Jamie, answer your question, show you a bit about who I am. Client success is my paramount priority. I am happily going to sacrifice scale for client success. I will never sacrifice client success for scale. That means I will scale slower, but I'll scale the right way. I'll be proactive about it, make sure things are in place so I don't break. Yes, some things are going to break, but I keep a very keen eye on client success and the way, if I'm stuffing up a workout program, for example, I'm gonna scale back a bit. I can't afford that just based on my character. And money is a thing. If people want a refund, I'm not a slave to my clients. It's not about the money. I'd left the corporate world. I could have been, investment or whatever. It wasn't about the money. It's about how I make the money, how fulfilled I am. So I'm not a slave to my business, not a slave to my clients. So but client success is paramount. So now I'm just thinking from an operator point of view, how can I maintain this? How can I scale the business without sacrificing client success while improving margins and so forth? So that's where I'm at.
So fast forward another 12 months. Where do you see the business and where do you actually see yourself?
Yeah, more aligned with my wall map. We're talking about multiple 6-figure entrepreneur. I've also got some other things not shoot-offs, but I've got a lot of altruistic goals as well. I know where this business fits in my life. It's always going to be there. It's always going to be a major part of my life. But once it hits a certain amount per month, I'll be shifting the focus while maintaining the business into other things. Well, we'll see how it goes. But definitely this is going to be the main vehicle to fuel other vehicles and fuel more philanthropic stuff that I want to do. Be sovereign. I'm sovereign in my mind internally. Yeah, I got full agency of my mind. I think for myself. Yeah. So to give a more of a tangible, practical example, I'll definitely be sovereign in a tangible, practical level with how I live, where I am. That's where I'm at it.
Okay. Look, we've spoken, to be honest, the minority of the call about the fact that you've gone from this 10K per month goal to smashing it out in a week, right? We've touched on the financial side. Most of what we've just spoken about on this call has been mindset, offer, standards, routines. Has this program, how would you describe this program to someone that is not part of it?
Like I said before, Jamie, it's the Harvard of online fitness coaching. It's the Harvard for fitness. I think what people don't realize, Jamie, and I'll tell you this right now, maybe some people do, but for me, I realize what you do for us. What you do for us is take B2B concepts. One thing is the lead magnet from Tucky, right? Shout out Tucky if you ever watch it. You take B2B concepts and you synthesize it to apply to this industry. I've taken the time to really understand the nuance of this, right? So that's just an example of how full stack this program is. It's not just the lead flow, because you can get lead flow for anyone. And then are they going to close? Are they even going to book calls? You learned that the hard way, because I can see probably the progression of your agency or your business that you've had before I joined. You probably got lead flow for people in the beginning, realize that these guys can't close, and then they fall off as a client. So then now you've become full stack over time. So you're definitely full stack. Full stack is the best way I describe your business. That being said, you can only give so much, people so much stuff. They need to implement it. They need to do the work. They need to maintain it.
You're 100% right.
That's where
you are 100% right. Yeah. So I guess for anyone watching this, I had an agency for 3 years, right? And it was a lead generation agency in the fitness space. We used to work with coaches and we used to work with gym owners. Before that, I had a odd niche-less agency where we worked with industries all over the world in completely different places. And the power of niche shone through. We niched down into health. We started working with gyms and coaches. And we started with lead gen because we could run the ads for the coaches. Somewhere along that process, although working really well, there was a massive gap between leads is not the only problem and leads is not going to solve the problem. And when we even started and transitioned into what we do now, which is Done For You, that shone through even more, because we realized, okay, well, we have to be able to help the coach generate the leads. We have to be able to book the calls. We have to be able to help them to get them to show up. We have to be able to help them to sell. We have to be able to help them to keep the client. And what I thought I knew, but probably didn't know as much as I know now, is the mindset that ties all of this together is one of the most important things in the entire process. Because without the mindset, as you said, you won't stick to a process if you don't see immediate results. If you're stuck in this instant gratification mindset, if you're a coach that spends all their day on TikTok and trying to do the content game, you have to realize you're a business owner and things don't come that easy and things don't come that quick. And for us, we realized that pretty early on, that there needs to be a healthy foundation and mindset piece to what we do. Otherwise, these coaches are not going to become business owners. They're going to want to have a business, but they're not going to be able to either grow or maintain a business when they realize it's not that easy, right? It can become easier when you get the systems in place. But if you can't get through that fire and if you can't get through that pain, you're not going to end up with the business that you want. And you're not going to operate as, for example, here, a multi-six-figure business owner. You're not going to get there if you're not operating that way right now. So that's kind of what tied our entire business together. Then we started hiring killers. We started hiring Gilbert. We started hiring Kieran. And the whole thing really came together to what it is now. So I guess anyone that's on the fence, Ron, what would your advice be to them?
Yeah, bite the bullet. But if you believe in yourself and you're a high integrity coach, join the A team. I believe we're probably the best out there. And think just about this opportunity cost. You can keep doing what you're doing. You can hire someone else. You can invest low ticket in yourself, this and that. But you're going to be on this trajectory. If you join that A team, if you join JMB, or if you join a coach or a team that's on the same caliber, your trajectory is going to go through the roof. And then you're going to save time, months, years to achieving your goals, rather than wasting time and then eventually maybe coming back around later on.
Well, been a pleasure. As I knew